And welcome to the pre-concert talk at Symphony of Southeast Texas. I'm Joe Elwell, music director at KVLU. Chelsea Tipton, of course, our music director and conductor, and Daniel Emmet, our soloist, who's going to be performing on From the Heart. Is that that's the name of the show coming up tonight at 7:30 in the evening in the Julie Rogers Theater. Chelsea, this is going to be a fun concert, isn't it?
It really is. One reason we wanted to get Daniel here is he's a crossover artist.
Right.
And he sings in numerous languages, and he sings selections that people will know and people will love. But what I find in studying the music is it's very emotional music.
Yep.
Where did you get your start?
So my start in music, to go back to the very beginning.
There was light. Yeah.
It was, yes, there was light.
Did you hear a crack?
You know, I have been a lover of music all my life, but I never really believed that it would be the path for me until I was about 15 years old when I moved to Las Vegas. And that's when I began to be exposed to some of the greatest entertainers of our lifetime. People like, Celine Dion, Donnie Marie Osmond, all the great entertainers that Vegas has been a home for historically. And that's something that I was truly bit by the bug of performance and singing when I moved there. And I never planned on going into music. I was going to be a lawyer. And but like all great things, you find your passion, or it finds you, so to speak. And music found me. And I've never looked back, and I've been very fortunate to truly only have one job my entire life, and that is to sing and to share my love of music, specifically music that is rooted in classical symphonic music with the world.
Now, you actually started off with another instrument besides the voice
That
when
is
you were
true.
younger.
When I was not a singer first, I was a violist first. For better or for worse. No jokes, please. I've heard them all. No, I'm very proud of my viola heritage. That's how I learned how to read music, and that was my first exposure, of course, to the classical music world, came through my orchestral studies. And what I've been so passionate about before, wow, I'm all over the place today. So my brain is on the concert, so good news. It'll be in one piece for tonight. I'm thinking about everything we're going to do tonight. But no, where I became known, so to speak, was when I was very fortunate to be a part of a show called America's Got Talent. And to have the opportunity to be on a stage that has that level of national and international recognition is a dream come true for any artist. It's something where you go from practicing in your bedroom or performing locally to suddenly being able to share your love of music with the world.
And I think that's one of the great things about those shows when they came about. Oftentimes, before those shows, before American Idol and everything, you had to get discovered. You had to have your cassette. That's these little things. Yeah, the cassette to give to someone to hear it. But then we had these shows where we would take just normal, everyday people who were very talented, and give them a platform to really reach a large audience.
Yes.
So, do you write music?
I do. I do write music. That's something that I'm very proud of, is that I've been able to release originals and covers since being on the show, and we'll be doing a few of both of those this evening with the symphony, some original music as well as some reimagined covers. And that's something that is it actually lends itself to the title of the show tonight, is From the Heart, because as I was thinking, what do we call this show? It's a collection of music that at first glance doesn't seem connected, perhaps, based on title or genre or whatnot. But the thing that connects it all is that it is rooted emotionally to either a point in my life or a piece of music that I feel very connected to, and it all comes from the heart, because that to me is what symphonic music is.
When you get ready to write a song or write the music, do you approach your writing from, do you have the lyric in mind and then put the music to it, or do you have the music in mind and then put a lyric to it?
So I would say that it depends. Is the best answer to that, because sometimes you go into a writing session with just a message that you want to put out to the world, and then you either by yourself or with your collaborators create that body of work that goes around that message and tells that message to the best way. And other times you'll wake up in the middle of the night with a melody that is in your brain, and you go, don't lose it, and you try to run to the nearest piece of paper or keyboard, and you get your phone or whatever out to record it before it's gone. and then later on you'll find out what that melody's trying to say.
Yeah.
So it really depends.
I mean, I remember when I was in an all-state band, and the conductor said he carries this little notebook with him that he puts in his pocket. He hears something on the radio. This is back in the 80s. He hears something on the radio. He just writes it down. That always stuck with me.
Mm-hmm.
And we've done some other media things, and you heard something, and you're like, let me get my phone out and just kind of make a little note. Yeah, there's things that are always around us, and they can spark kind of ideas that can develop into other pieces or
Absolutely.
other ideas or other approaches to music making. Now, you sing, you speak English very well. Okay?
Some days.
Some days. You speak English wonderfully, but you also sing in a number of different languages. Tell us the story behind that. I mean, are you a polyglot or something like that? I think that's the word, a polyglot.
So for me, I've always been drawn to music from our own culture here in the United States, which is very diverse and
Yes.
varied and made up of many, many influences, but also other world music as well. And when I was lucky enough to study voice at Chapman University in Orange County, part of our training was multilingual singing. And I fell in love with the first diction classes that I took as a sophomore, and you're learning Italian and French and the standard classical operatic repertoire languages, but I just fell in love with communicating in other languages, and music especially. It's a way to reach new audiences and continue to share that love, that universality that music has. So I wanted to take it a step further, and I've just continued to learn how to sing in as many languages as possible. I'm up to 7 right now.
And do you speak other languages?
Enough to be dangerous.
Enough to get in trouble.
Enough to get in trouble. I minored in Italian at Chapman University, and I've since forgotten most of it. But I know that a little bit, enough German to get into trouble.
Yes.
And I took Spanish in high school, of course, and have been very fortunate to travel to different parts of the world. Obviously not so much in recent months, but it's always been a passion of mine, learning different languages and being able to share that love that language can speak to, like or reimagining a very famous pop song. For example, tonight we're going to be doing Dolly Parton's "I Will Always Love You."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Go ahead. Yeah, you do it in.
But we're gonna do it in Italian.
Oh.
So it's a little bit
Great.
it's a little bit of a moment where at first you might go, wait, I know this. Why do I know this?
Right.
And then it hits you, and it's a new way. It's a new life that the song can take on.
Have you ever thought about actually working into doing some operatic things, maybe performing an opera?
I would love to. There's something that I was very fortunate at the end of my run on America's Got Talent. I was very lucky to make it to the finals. And when you're a finalist, they bring a celebrity performer to join you for a duet for the grand finale. And for my performance, I was joined by Maestro Placido Domingo. Which, it doesn't get any better. It does not get better.
So cool.
That's good credentials right there.
I had an amazing opportunity not only to perform with him, but to spend time with him. And just to talk, dreams and hopes and all kinds of things with him, and career path and things. And I told him what my goal is to share that love that I have of classical and symphonic music with as many people as possible, particularly with people who might not gravitate on their own to a symphony. Might not already be fans. A comment that was very, very heartening that I received a lot while I was on America's Got Talent was, well, if that's what classical music sounds like, if that's what opera sounds like, I'm in.
Yeah.
And that meant so much to me, and I shared that with Maestro Domingo, and he said, then what we need to do for you, what the world needs from you, keep doing concerts, keep building, keep bringing those people to the symphony, and then when they're ready, we'll take them to the opera together.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it was a really special thing to have that discussion with him.
So that might be something down the road.
So absolutely down the road, I would love to dust off the opera chops and bring them back into the world and share that love that I have with everyone.
Well, it's going to be a wonderful show. We're so happy you're with us down here in Southeast Texas. We want people to come out and see what great music you have to share with us, and also what a great orchestra we have. We were talking earlier that to be an artist, you have to be able to be conversive in different genres of music, and this concert will certainly take us down that path. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Joe, for always joining us on these. And we hope to see you all at the symphony at the Julie.